John Hamilton. I'm the city administrator for Huntsville, and it's my honor to stand here and represent Mayor Battle and the entire team from the city that takes care of this great community. We take the public safety very, very important. There's a lot of great things that the city does, but none of it is more important than the work that we do out on the streets, ensuring the safety of our citizens and those that come into and out of our community. And of course, our police force and others in public safety partner with them, put a lot of time and effort into that. We're here today, and what Chief Morris is going to do is roll out for you the statistics that we had in crime from 2013. You may know the FBI is releasing some statistics today. Theirs only reflect the first 6 months. What we're rolling out for you is the entire year. So it would not be a direct comparison to what you may pull out of FBI reports today. We're providing the entire 12 months of statistics specifically for Huntsville. So as we go through it, if you've got questions about the numbers, be cautious with apples to oranges kind of comparisons, because their numbers will be a little bit different than ours. We're laying out for you exactly what we reported for all of 2013. What you'll see is that Huntsville is a very safe community. That doesn't mean there's no crime. Obviously, there are crime statistics to report. There is crime. There's actual crime, and there's also the perception of crime. And what we ask the police force to do is obviously focus on the actual crime that we're seeing on the streets and have strategies in place to stop that crime. And if there's one crime out there, it's more than what we want. But we are seeing, and you'll see in the statistics, across the majority of categories, in some cases, some real sizable declines in crime. There's other areas where it has gone up, particularly in some of the areas where there's violence involved, and those are things that concern us a great deal. Mayor Battle has it as really his top priority to focus the resources we need to in combating that kind of behavior in our community, and so we're going to continue to do that. And Chief Morris will be prepared to talk about some of the things that he's seeing out on the streets, things that his officers are seeing on the streets, and the strategies that we have in place to combat the crime that we have out there. So I'll let Chief Morris step up and talk you through the more detailed report, and then we'll open up for questions.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hamilton, and thank you for being here. As Mr. Hamilton said, the FBI is releasing 6 months statistics for 2013 today, but I'm able to report to you the 2013 statistics for the entire year that we reported to the state. In those statistics, of course, the first statistic that we all know is that we had an increase in homicides in 2013. We had 25 homicides reported in 2013, and that's up from 12 that we had reported in the previous year. If there is any good news in regards to the homicides, we have resolved or charged in over 80% of those homicides. The national average is 65%, and so we've done a very good job in determining the offenders, incarcerating the offenders, and we've noticed that in some of the cases we are dealing with the same people. What we've noticed in homicides is that it tends to be a cycle there of violence, is what I refer to it as. There's one incident that leads to another incident that leads to a retaliation incident, and it involves the same persons. And we've seen that, and we have a plan that we'll discuss here in just a little while to tell you how we're going to deal with that. The good news for us is that the entire year of 2013 seems to mirror what is reported in the first 6 months by the FBI, and that's a decrease in the overall rate of crime, with the exception of the homicides that we just talked about. We showed a 14% decrease in the number of robberies in the city of Huntsville for 2013, and a 12% decrease in the number of burglaries in 2013. We also noticed a significant decrease in the number of rapes that were reported in actual offenses in 2013. There are also drops in larceny, which is general property crime, auto theft, and aggravated assault. And in the category of aggravated assault, we report under a little bit different criteria to the state as other cities. We report in over 90 categories of crime that are considered aggravated assault. Some of those crimes that are reported as aggravated assault are actually misdemeanor offenses. that causes us to have a larger pool of crimes that we report as aggravated assaults. With that said, we still had fewer than we did in 2012, and if you were to look at other cities that reported, I believe you would see that we're below that number also. The city of Huntsville, overall, our crime statistics show that we remain one of the safest cities in Alabama and in the country. It shows that our community watch, our involvement in the public safety programs, and our involvement in the community is making a difference in our community and in the vigilance of the citizens. We've also done a good job in that we have recovered quite a bit of stolen property, and we recover virtually all the stolen cars, about 80% of stolen cars that we have reported. Some of those stolen cars are related to some of the other crimes that we have. There's still a lot of work to do. Homicides are up. I think everybody's aware that in the beginning of 2014 we've had several homicides. We have resolved all but one of those, and we're working on the other one, on that one diligently. We have made a lot of arrests in connection with those. We know, or we believe we know, what the issues are. A lot of the homicides and the violent crime that you've seen are connected to a small network of known offenders that are engaged in street-level crimes that largely go back to drug activity. And we're aware of that, and we're going to take steps to address that. We saw a 24% increase in the number of drug offenses that we had in 2013 and in the arrests we made. That's a product of the self-initiated activity of the police force and the police officers out here on the street and our narcotics unit. We also saw a 73% increase on assaults on police officers. And when you see a 73% increase in assaults on police officers, a 24% increase in drug offenses, and an increase in the number of homicides, it doesn't take a lot to figure out that there's a connection here. So we have decided to focus our efforts, or we're going to focus our efforts on street-level crime activity. And we're going to take away the opportunity for all these crimes to occur, and we're going to do that by being more visible in the neighborhoods. Each of the precincts has developed an initiative where they'll be more visible in the neighborhoods. Our stack operations, or drug unit operations, will be picked up more on the street level to combat street-level crime, and you'll see a greater presence of the police officers in the neighborhoods where a lot of these crimes are occurring. Now, in order to break this cycle, it's going to take more than that, and it's going to take involvement from the community and partnerships with the police department with the community to educate young people. We've noticed that some of the offenders in these cases we have dealt with before, and they used to be teenagers. Now they're getting a little older. Well, we want to focus on teenagers to begin with, and we do that through our programs that we have. We have the Community At-Risk, the CAFE program, Community At-Risk Youth Program. We have our School Resource Officer Program, where our officers are in the schools and exposed to the children and the students each day. We have our community resource officers out of the precincts. We have 164 active community watch groups in the city that we work with daily in the neighborhoods. We have Crime Stoppers helps us tremendously. They offer rewards on information that lead to the arrest of crimes. We try to be responsive to information that we receive from the community, because who knows better what goes on in their community than the people that live in that community. And with that said, we have a police citizens advisory board that's made up of members from the community that we meet with regularly, and they offer us input and insight into how we can better serve the community from the perspective of the people that live in the community. So we have partnerships with federal agencies. We have an outstanding relationship with the district attorney's office, and we we aggressively pursue prosecution on all of these cases. We do that by charging. In fact, we charged in this year, we've already charged in three capital murder cases. We take a very serious stance on prosecuting these cases to the fullest of the extent. We have some organizational things that we've done. We have a robbery task force that's resulted in the increase or the decrease in robberies that I mentioned. We have a burglary task force that's resulted in the decrease. We had a street level violent crime unit that we ran for a little while this summer, and that was a very effective unit. I think you'll probably see something along those lines again. It's just a lot of things that the police department can do, but in order to be completely effective, the community needs involved in the things that we do, and we welcome that involvement. And I'll stand here and tell you that I believe you have one of the finest police departments in the southeast United States. They do a tremendous job. The crime rate in Huntsville is down. Huntsville is a safe city, and we will work diligently to reduce the number of homicides in this city.